Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching live in the world. My name is Jeff Imalabe, and today we are doing the live property analysis in Texas, um, here in the US. So if you are based in Texas, you are based in Houston, in Dallas, in neighboring cities in Texas. Today we'll be coming live looking at the market in Texas using InvestFusion. So we want to use InvestFusion to do a deep analysis of the markets in Texas. When I mention a market, I'm talking about the single family units and of course the multi-family units. So today's analysis is based purely on the market in Texas, looking at two types of asset class or markets. One is single family units, and the second is the multi-family units. So let me know where you're watching live in the world. Give me a one if you are watching. If you are watching live from TikTok, make sure you join us on YouTube. There's a link live on the bio that will take you all the way straight into the connection, of course, in YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, let me know where you're watching. You're welcome to join. I see we already have Mel. Melly, let me know where you're joining in from, where you're watching live from the world. Let me know where you're watching. So today is going to be a deep, deep, deep analysis using InvestFusion. Most of you who are Peggy, thanks for joining as well. Peggy Blue, let me know where you're watching, and of course, you can leave your comments. I will try to analyze, of course, take your comments and your questions. So if you are new to real estate, this is purely wealth generation using InvestFusion. So if you are thinking of growing wealth, see, it's no longer questionable. It's a fact. Real estate is by far the surest bet to more millionaires are created from the real estate market by across the board than any other market combined. So wealth from real estate, it's almost assured if you know what you're doing. And that's why we built InvestFusion. So let me know where you're joining from, Peggy. I see Val Merzer. Let me know where you're joining from, where in the world you are. And of course, you can leave a comment. You have a question on real estate. Today analysis is going to look at the market in Texas. Hopefully my audio is great. Let me just validate that as well. One more time, guys. Let's make sure the audio is good, and then we will be good to go. So if you're still new about what is InvestFusion, today's we did a pure analysis of what InvestFusion is, and I'm going to also use that. Okay. So the audio is great. So that's sorted out already. Just want to make sure the audio is good. So the audio is good. Thanks for joining, Val, Melly, Peggy. Those of you watching on YouTube, on Facebook, let me know where you're tuning in from as well. Guys, InvestFusion is disrupting the real estate space. Again, what is InvestFusion? So today's market, we're looking at Texas. We're going to go into the market in Texas, take a deep analysis of Texas, and see what are the properties in Texas. It could be single family units, it could be multi-family units that are worth the investment. For those of you watching on Facebook, on YouTube, please let me know where you're watching. I don't just give a like, give a comment. Let me highlight your comments and let me see where you're watching from. Now let's start by breaking down what is InvestFusion before we go into more share my screen and then to take you guys behind the scene to understand what is InvestFusion. To start with, InvestFusion was created for four reasons. Think of the journey of a real estate investor. Every real estate investor in the US goes on listing sites. By listing sites, you know the regulars, the MLS, the Zillows of this world, the Craigslist, the LoopNet. When they go on listing sites, they see a property, they see the price, they see the square footage, they see the cap rate, they see, of course, the living square footage. Now, what happens is this: once they see those numbers, all the investors do is to call the broker and then say, "Hey, I'd like to see this property." And then most likely they go to see one, two, three, even 100 properties before making up their mind to decide to buy. Now, if they make up their mind to decide to buy this property, the first thing to do is to put that property on contract. To put the property on contract, you pay what they call a DDF. If you know what a DDF means, let me know, guys. May, thanks for joining. Harold, Colette, thanks for joining. If you know what a DDF is, let me know. Guys, if you're joining in, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you are joining. Let me know if you know what a DDF is. What is a DDF in real estate, guys? So a DDF represents a due diligence fee. The due diligence fee is a non-refundable fee you pay the seller to take the property off the market. Now, when you take the property off the market, you now have the right to go and investigate the property. The issue with that scenario is when you pay a DDF, it's non-refundable. The DDF costs anywhere from $3,500 to over $5,000 in a seller's market. For a commercial property, the DDF can go as high as $10,000. That's one issue with. So we created InvestFusion for 4 major reasons. One, to protect the average investor from losing thousands of dollars upfront. Number 2, to help you find properties that are 30 or 40% below replacement costs with built-in equity and cash flowing opportunities. Number 3 is to reward you, the investor, for using the platform InvestFusion. And number 4 is to act as a marketplace, more like a marketplace that connects buyers with stakeholders, professional stakeholders. How do I mean? The lenders, the real estate agents, the builders, the contractors. It's going to be a hub of that, it's going to be a hub of our investors connecting with professional stakeholders. So let's start with the first one. Let's expatiate on what I was referring earlier on. So look at the life cycle of a buyer. The buyer wants to buy a property, go on listing sites. They put the property on contracts. They pay a DDF, a due diligence fee. Now, when you pay that fee is non-refundable. Meaning, when you pay a due diligence fee, if you, the buyer, begin to investigate the property and you pay $5,000 for your due diligence fee, you will pay an inspector. The inspector comes in to inspect the property. My man, Jane Vez Kofi, my guy, I see you from Atlanta, Georgia. Guys, if you are joining and you are joining from TikTok, you are joining from YouTube, you're joining from Facebook, just leave the comments and let me know where you're joining from, okay? Kiki, I see you. Ion 2, Woodbuster, I see you as well, guys. Thanks for joining in. Now, listen carefully. If you want to buy a property anywhere in the US, you must pay what they call a DDF, the due diligence fee. And then you pay an inspection. DDF costs you $5,000. The inspection costs you about $700, meaning you spent about $5,700. There's no way around that. That's the fact on the market. Now, imagine spending close to $6,000. Alejandro, thanks for joining. Imagine spending close to $6,000 and then only to realize that, oh, the property you're about to buy has foundation issues, has structural damage, has foggy windows. You just spent $6,000 to put the property on contract, to investigate the property. Steven, thanks for joining. Donnie, I see you. Aaron, I see you. Guys, understand the scenario of a buyer in the US. You pay non-refundable $5,000 for your due diligence fee. You pay another $700 for your inspector or the inspection fees. So you've part ways with over $5,000 or $6,000 only to begin to investigate the property. Now, when you begin to investigate the property and you realize, oh, there is foundation issues, there is foggy windows, there's structural damage, there is electrical issues, there is mold and mildew under the crawl space, you are forced to do nothing but to withdraw from that property. But your non-refundable fee is non-refundable. You just lost over $6,000. That's why we built InvestFusion, guys. InvestFusion is built to block that nonsense. It's an arbitrage. It's ridiculous. Investors are losing thousands of dollars every single day in the US because of this arbitrage. That's what InvestFusion is. So what is InvestFusion, guys? InvestFusion is the first AI-powered platform for real estate investors to protect you, the buyer, from losing thousands of dollars before you begin to investigate the property. So if you have an agent, for you real estate agents, you don't have to travel hours just to go and see a property before realizing that the property has any issues. I see you guys joining in. I see you, Tigo, Aaron, Messer, Steve, Stone, all of you guys joining. I see you guys. Let me know where you're joining the world. Leave the comments on your chat, and then I'll see where you're joining from the world. Guys, listen carefully. Listen carefully. This is a disruption in real estate. Listen, we all know Forbes even has proven that more millionaires are created in the world from real estate than any other market or asset class combined. The point you have to ask yourself is, how do I invest the right way in the real estate market? How do I dominate the market? How do I find properties that has cash flow and built-in equity? How do I stay protected? How do I remove fear from the real estate market? Guys, that's the power of InvestFusion. Thanks for showing me your love. Melina, I see you guys. House of Love, I see you as well. Guys, this is the power of what we built InvestFusion for. If you are watching on TikTok, Silver Diva 81, guys, thanks for joining. I see your love. If you are watching on TikTok, I implore you guys to try and connect to YouTube, because on YouTube I'm going to share my screen and then show you behind the scene how InvestFusion works. Today's market is in Texas. Today we're going to go into Texas. I'm live here in Charlotte. I'm not in Texas, but I'm going to go behind the scene, go into Texas, go and see all the properties in Texas, identify those ones that has foundation issues, those with foggy windows, those with structural damage. Would that be boarding the plane? I'm in my home here in Charlotte. So this is not a listing. InvestFusion is not a listing site. InvestFusion is a disruption. And for those of you who are watching, you're wondering, Jeff, how am I going to make money from InvestFusion? There are 3 ways we've built InvestFusion to reward you. Number 1 is to protect your own funds. So InvestFusion was built to protect you. That's 1. Number 2 is to help you find properties that are 30 or 40% below the replacement cost. So what do I mean by replacement cost? Replacement cost is the cost, what it takes you to build similar properties from the ground up, brand new. You want to buy below that price. Why? It gives you built-in equity. It gives you cash flowing opportunities. Number 3 is that we share the wealth with you, our viewers. Dancy, Grandma, thanks for joining. Just thanks for joining. House of Love again, I appreciate you guys. The Dude, I love that name. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining. Listen, guys, we want to create more millionaires point blank in 2025. And how do you do that? By the first thing to become a millionaire is you have to understand wealth is created by becoming very savvy. Wealth in real estate, you make your money on the buy. If you ask more millionaires in the US, they will tell you one thing is for sure. You in real estate, you make money on the buy. So how do you make your money on the buy? By protecting your investment, by knowing when to go in to go and buy or to sell. And that's what we built InvestFusion for. Now I'm going to go behind the scene now. Abundant, thanks for joining in. I'm going to go behind the scene now and share my screen. Now, if you are on TikTok, you might not be able to see my screen. So please join us on YouTube. That way you can see me share my screen, and then we're going to go into Texas market. We want to explore the Texas market and see what is really happening. What is happening? What are the properties that has found? What are the properties we're going to identify that has foundation issues that we need to avoid? That has foggy windows we need to avoid? That has structural damage we need to avoid? Guys, this is a disruption. And if you don't have the funds, like if you listen, guys, what if we don't have money? House of Love, you just read my mind. How did you read my mind, House of Love? This guy is out of his mind. How did you read my mind, House of Love? You're amazing. Now, House of Love asks a question. It says, what if we do not have money? Listen carefully. You don't have to have any cash. You can have 0 funds, 0 in your bank account. There are 3 things you must do. 3 things. Number 1, if you have a bad credit score and you are in the US, you have collections, you have bills you've not paid that is troubling you, and they are in your credit report. They tell you it takes 7 years to remove that. Forget that, guys. we have a system to remove collections, to remove all those negative effects from your your credit reports. That's the first point. Number two is to create an LLC. When you create an LLC, we're going to teach you how to structure your LLC. So the first point is to get your credit report all the way back into the 700, 750 range. We can do that in 3 months. We have a system for that. That's number one. Number two is to form an LLC. When you form an LLC, we'll teach you to structure your LLC. The LLC is what qualifies for funding. So House of Love, you do not need, so the link is on, go and join us on our school. So in the school community, I have free training on how to build your credit report for free, how to grow your credit report, how to structure your LLC. Guys, they are free on the school community. If you are watching House of Love and all, how much do we have to pay? It's free. No. For now, it's free. Guys, go and join. There are free videos, more than 5 hours of videos free on school community, guys. Go and join the link quickly. Chi lady, listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully. Number one, your credit report. There is no two ways about this. You don't need to have cash. If you want to qualify from $50,000 to over $250,000, and you don't need all that money, guys. You don't need all that money to start playing real estate. On Tuesday, I will be live on Tuesday. The first property in InvestFusion is not live yet to the public, but InvestFusion has found a property that has no foundation issues, no structural damage. And on Tuesday, we are closing live on that property. I'm going to be live to show you how we close on that property. Guys, you don't need to have cash. All you need to do is to understand this. Number one is your credit report. We need to understand, what do you have in your credit report? Do you have any negative collections? We can remove that in 3 months. I know they said it takes 7 years, but trust me, there's a way around that. That's number one. Number two is to have an LLC. LLC costs you about $50. Tell us about your YouTube. The YouTube link, House of Love, if you go on my bio, you can get access to the YouTube link, and then you can join on YouTube. Just go on the bio on the profile, okay? King of Hearts, thanks for joining as well. So guys, listen carefully. Keep your questions coming in. So I'm reading your questions. Those of you watching on YouTube and on Facebook, I'm communicating with the guys on TikTok, okay? So please, you're on YouTube and on Facebook, give me your comments and I will follow. Of course, as you try and give your questions and your comments, I will try to spotlight it. Jesus Cabera, thanks for joining as well. So guys, listen carefully. I'm responding to the question from House of Love. He is asking, he says, what if you don't have any money? And I understand that. You don't have to have cash. The point is, you have to be strategic. Guys, listen carefully. You have to be strategic. We're going to teach you in 3 months. One, if you have a poor credit report, everything is negative, they can be removed. Number two is to form an LLC. Once you have an LLC, we're going to teach you how to structure your LLC. That's number two. Number three is to use your LLC to qualify for funding. Banks like Chase Bank, in fact, most of you don't understand this. Chase Bank can start off giving you from $50,000 for a new LLC that is formed. You don't need $50,000 to buy. Guys, the property I'm closing on Tuesday, Jimbo, thanks for joining. And thanks for joining. On Tuesday, I'll be live showing you how we are closing on a property found, a duplex with InvestFusion. Has built-in equity, has cash flow. It's going to cost me about $15,000 on my closing. The money has already transferred the funds already to them. $15,000, guys. The rest, $15,000, has to be cash on my account. I mean, guys, Chase Bank can give you, Dave Lamb, thanks for joining. Chase Bank can give you $50,000 for a new LLC, but it has to be structured. So don't listen to anything else that says, oh, they don't give to any LLC. No, your LLC has to be structured. House of Love, thanks for your love. I see that already. Thanks for your love. Barry, thanks for joining. Your LLC has to be structured. That's how you qualify for funding. So if you have zero cash, guys, you have zero cash. Don't even bother and say, Jeff, I don't have any money to pay you. I have free content, almost 5 hours of content on the school community. I've done these videos for you guys to watch. Guys, the excuse is gone. I built InvestFusion to help you find that right deal. Because think about this. If the bank give you $50,000, for example, and then your first deal is a wrong deal in real estate, you can lose that money. I lost $10,000 some years back when I was still new. Why? Because I did not know what I was doing. I went with my agent, myself, my agent, we went to see the property. Everything looked good. The listing broker failed to let us know that the house has foundation issues. They tell us your YouTube. Okay, go on YouTube now and search for Jeff Imalaba InvestFusion. You should be able to see my name. Just go on YouTube right now, House of Love. Search for Jeff Imalaba. That should be simple. Or just say Jeff Imalaba InvestFusion. Okay, House of Love. That should. Rodney, uh, Ginger, thanks for joining. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you, House of Love. Property AI, thanks for joining as well. So listen carefully. I found the property here in North Carolina. I want to tell you my story so that you understand my story, to see the pain points. I found the property live here in North Carolina. It's a duplex. Now, I called my agent. The price was good. The seller was motivated. What that means is that the seller has reduced price several times. Mel, thanks for joining. Mark Perry, my man, thanks for joining as well. Now, keep your questions coming, guys. Keep your questions coming. Now, when I found this duplex, the seller was motivated, so they've reduced price more than 3 times. I thought it was a good deal. That was still a blind investment. Why? Jake, thanks for joining. Diego Ortiz, thanks for joining. I saw the property. I called my broker. I called my agent. I said, my agent, what do you think about this property? Should we go see it? Should we not go see it? He said, let's go see it. We went there. We drove down about an hour, 15 minutes to go and see the property. When we got there, it's a duplex. Everything looks clean. They covered a lot of, so all the cracks. They hide the cracks. We went around the property. Everything looks good. I said, how much do I need to put it on contract? They said I have to pay $5,000. So I paid $5,000 for my due diligence fee. Remember, you have to pay Sean C. Thanks for joining. You have to pay $5,000 or more for your due diligence fee. That's number one. Number two, you pay what they call an inspection fee. So I paid $700 for the inspection. Unfortunately, you have to pay another $5,000 for what they call an EMD. The EMD stands for the NS money deposit. So I paid another $5,000 for EMD, and I paid another $600 for the appraisal report. Guys, when we did the inspection, when the inspector inspected the property, you will not believe what happened. This guy found foundation issues, found structural damage, electrical problems. There was mold, there was mildew under the crawl space. To make it worse, the issue is so bad that the inspector told me, Jeff, do not buy this. This is an inspector. He says, Jeff, do not buy this property. So I said, you know what? Maybe he's lying. I said, maybe he's lying. So I sent in DeRoy Reed. Thanks for joining. So I sent in a contractor from Valdez to go and see the property. The inspector went, the contractor, a GC, general contractor, went there and says, don't buy this property. I asked for a refund, over $11,000. The seller refused to refund my money and told me he used to be a sheriff. What's my business if he used to be a sheriff? How does that affect me? Give my refund, he refused. I reported them to the North Carolina commissions, the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. It took them more than 4 to 6 months to investigate this issue. Those guys, I called a lawyer. My lawyer was charging me $325 per hour. Guys, is that what you want to deal with? That's what InvestFusion blocks. Do you know something? Those guys, those sellers, those criminals released that property without disclosing material facts. I'm a licensed real estate agent in North Carolina, but I don't practice. When you do an inspection and you can identify material facts, you're supposed to disclose it. Linda, thanks for joining. Alex, thanks for joining. But you know what the seller did? The seller failed to disclose material facts. They went on Zillow, the regular thing, and they relisted the property. I took screenshots. Guys, this thing I'm telling you is a fact. We took them to court. I reported them to the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. I did everything to get my money back. That is the pain I don't want you guys to deal with. So I'm not just talking about this. I went through this pain, guys. That's why we built InvestFusion. I went through this pain. How many of you can afford to lose over $11,000 and the next day just keep it moving? cash. This was not borrowed funds. This was cash. So now what did I do? I said, you know what? They relisted the property. I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I took screenshots. I sent a screenshot to the North Carolina Commission. I said, this is what these guys have done. This is a breach of the law. And you know what's funny though? When you are signing a contract, when you take a property on contract, there are three choices you make. The seller of the property, say you're the seller, you have a choice to say, okay, is there any issue of your property? You can choose three options. Option one, you can say yes, you can say no, or you can select N arrow. If you are a real estate agent watching this, tell me what is N arrow. Banks Picnic, thanks for joining. Casanova Kixis, thanks for joining. Santosia, thanks for joining. Mark Perry, my man, thanks for joining. Guys, N arrow means no representation. Jennifer from London, thanks for joining. N arrow means no representation. Dealer, thanks for joining. Let me know where you're joining. If you're in the US, let me know what state you're in the US. Today we're looking at Texas market. So N arrow means no representation. If a seller selects N arrow, Juliana, Miles, thanks for joining. If a seller selects N arrow, which means no representation, it means if they know something is wrong with the property, there's foundation cracks, there's foggy windows, there's structural damage, it's not behoves of them to disclose to you. So what we have created, what InvestFusion does is, in your bedroom, InvestFusion goes into that property and lets you know if there's foundation issues, if there's structural damage, before you lose $11,000 like I did lose. Flowers family, thanks for joining. This is a serious arbitrage in real estate. This is a serious problem. That's why we built InvestFusion to block. It's a loophole, guys. And sellers are tapping into that loophole, but no more. Stop buying real estate blindly. You're not a blind investor. You can't be blind. This is 2025. AI has transformed how we do investment in real estate. And that's what InvestFusion is. Adrian, Kamot, thanks for joining. All of you watching on TikTok, thanks for the love. Guys, join us on YouTube. Go on YouTube and search for Jeff Imalaba, EMALABA, InvestFusion. Or just says Jeff Imalaba, InvestFusion. Join us on YouTube. I'm going to share my screen right now and take you guys behind the scene to InvestFusion. If you are watching on TikTok, let me give you guys something right now. Go to InvestFusion, .co and join the waitlist. My team is going to give you access to the back end to test InvestFusion by next week. We're going to create your own profile for InvestFusion and give you access to InvestFusion. Again, if you're watching on TikTok, you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, go to investfusion.co. I repeat, go to InvestFusion. Panda, thanks for joining. Go to investfusion.co and then join the waitlist. By next week, my team is going to create your own profile and give you access. This is not open to the public. It's only open to a select few. Jonathan, thanks for joining. We are disrupting the real estate space, guys. Point blank, period. We are disrupting this space. House of Love, please make sure to go to investfusion.co to join the waitlist. Jonathan, that also applies to you. Mark Perry, that applies to you. Guys, InvestFusion is changing the game. So I want to start by sharing my screen. Please, if you are watching on TikTok and you want to see my screen, the only way you can see my screen, Andrews, thanks for joining. You have to be on YouTube or on Facebook to see my screen. So let's do this. First of all, let me connect to InvestFusion and then be able to share my screen, and we'll go into Texas. The reason we built InvestFusion is to protect the average investor. I have lost, like I said, you guys see my story. It's been everywhere. Ivan Crockett, thanks for joining. My story is a case in point. And there are several investors in the US who've lost thousands of dollars. And to them, they say, you know what? I just keep on renting. Guys, listen. Do you know you can live rent-free in the US if you are smart and strategic? That's number one thing. One of the biggest expense you make every month is your rent. Nathaniel Henry, thanks for joining. It's your rent. Do you understand this? Please ask your questions. If you have a question, ask your questions. If you're asking on YouTube, I can see your questions. I can take your questions as well. Nathaniel Henry, thanks for joining. Lee Conscious, thanks for joining, guys. Do you know you can live rent-free in the US by getting a duplex? A duplex is 2 units in one. That means 2 units in one building, in one property. You don't have to spend a fortune. Robinson, thanks for joining. Lil Conscious, thanks for joining. Mies, thanks for joining. All you have to do is, one, how do I find the right property? No issues, no red flags. Think of, let me use a simple analogy, guys. Imagine you want to buy a Rolls Royce and then you go to the dealership shop and the dealer tell you, oh, well, this is a beautiful Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce has 12, 22, whatever inch rim. The paint is orange, mixed with white. It's beautiful. It's convertible, every good thing. But before you can test drive this Rolls Royce, you have to pay a non-refundable fee of $5,000. And then you pay a non-refundable fee of $5,000. And then you get into the car and you crack the engine. When you crank the engine, guess what? The engine is malfunctioned. But they say, sorry, sir, you've paid a non-refundable fee. That's the story of most buyers in the US. That's why we built InvestFusion, to protect, to stop that from happening. Laura, thanks for joining, Laura. Robinson, thanks for joining, guys. Now, please, those of you watching on TikTok, you can go on YouTube, just type Jeff Imalaba. It's EMALABA, InvestFusion. That will give you access to join us and see. I'm going to share my screen right now for you guys to see my screen. Most buyers lose thousands of dollars in real estate because they don't even know what is happening. So before you can test drive, before you can go into a property in the US, you have to pay what they call a non-refundable fee. That's what we are blocking. If you are watching on TikTok and on Facebook and on YouTube, by this weekend, go right now to investfusion.co. I repeat, Nadine, Sams, thanks for joining. Go on investfusion.co, then hit on join the waitlist. Guys, if you are watching this, go on investfusion.co and hit join the waitlist. Now, or if you want to see me as I'm sharing my screen right now, as we go into Texas market, just go on to go to YouTube, search for Jeff Imalaba InvestFusion. Piper M, same thing. Thanks for joining as well. Go on YouTube. I'll share my screen right now, and then you guys can have access to my screen. Listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully. Real estate is everyone here watching knows by fact, by reality, that to grow wealth is only through real estate. And that's why Fortunes is built to your landlord when you keep on paying rent every month, month in, month out. Rufus, thanks for joining. The question now is, how do you prevent that from happening? What are the strategic ways? What are the smart ways to do it? You can get a duplex. You can get a quadruplex. You can get what? A house with a, listen carefully, the smart way. You can get a house with a basement. You can rent out the basement. Another smart thing to do is this. If you buy a house with a garage, this is what some guys are doing. This guy appeared on Shark Tank. If you buy a house with a garage, you can convert the garage into another bedroom to get more increased cash flow. But nobody tells you, how do you get the right deal? That's what InvestFusion does. No other platform, no other tool in the US or anywhere in the world lets you know if that house or that Rolls Royce has an engine. That's what we built in InvestFusion. InvestFusion is your gatekeeper. Sissy, thanks for joining. Hoppy, thanks for joining. InvestFusion is your gatekeeper. It lets you know if that property has any foundation issues. Because if a property has a foundation issue, there's no amount of idea or strategy you have that will make you successful in that property, because you're going to tank. All they want is your money. That's it. House of Love, you're right. All they want is your money. The seller will not reveal to you that that house has issues because they can select. Now, that's why I call it an arbitrage, guys. It's an arbitrage in the market. They will not let you know that that house has foundation issues. They will let you go and pay. They will say pay your EMD, pay your DDS, because it's non-refundable. Why would you lose $6,000? Why? Why invest blindly? That's why I have lost money. That's why I built InvestFusion. Anthony, thanks for joining. Cassie, thanks for joining. Guys, stop buying real estate blindly. Stop it. It's not even an idea. Don't go on lists and just go and buy. They've been asking me, how did you do it? How did you do it? I said, don't worry. By next month, we are opening to the public. House of Love, guys, go to investfusion.co and join the wait list. By next week, my team is going to create your own access to give you access to the back end of InvestFusion. Just go and play around with it for free. Go and play around with it. Go and see. It will show you property that has foundation issues. Point blank. So you avoid these properties. It's going to give you what they call a deal score in 60 seconds. No other platform, no other tool anywhere in the world does that. In 60 seconds, InvestFusion is going to go into any property anywhere in the US and let you know if it has any major red flags. Run, guys, run. You can't buy a Rolls Royce without an engine. Living Conscious, thanks for joining. Okay, House of Love, I heard you. Okay, that's fine, House of Love. Guys, let's stop buying real estate blindly. So I'm going to go and share my screen right now. And then for those of you watching on TikTok, if you can join on YouTube, that would be awesome. So let's do this. Let's quickly go into this now. Let me start by sharing my screen. And then we can go into InvestFusion here and share. Awesome. So, okay, great. Now, also, for those of you watching on TikTok, Mame Events, thanks for joining. That's Mame. Yeah. We've also built InvestFusion to reward you. So if you say, Jeff, I have no money, but I know of people, I have teams who are in real estate who might want to use this platform, we pay you 20% paid directly into your Stripe account for anyone using your referral link. Guys, listen, InvestFusion, you can try it for free for 7 days. If you have anyone in your network that is in real estate or is a broker, an agent, wherever they are, you can use InvestFusion and share your link with them. Okay? That's what you can do. Mo, thanks for joining. Listen, guys, now let's do something. Let me switch. I'm going to switch my audio. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to switch my audio to a different audio because of this. Okay, let's keep on going. I'll switch your audio quite later on. Now, I'm sharing my screen. So we pay you 20% of their deposit. So once you join InvestFusion, you have your own unique referral link. If anyone uses your link to join InvestFusion, you get 20% of their deposits, of their monthly payments, guys, of their monthly recurring fee. So this is amazing. Not only are we paying you, we're also rewarding you and protecting you from losing thousands of dollars on your own funds. So let's do this right now. So now that I'm sharing my screen, I'm going to go into the market. So you can see my screen here. Those of you watching on TikTok, I can confirm here on YouTube, it's live there. So let's go into the market in Texas. And then let me expand this. I'm monitoring a lot of screens, guys. TT, thanks for joining. So I'm going to go in here. I'm typing Texas, USA. So this is the platform. This is InvestFusion. Now we're just going to do a general search for a single family unit. I would say maybe we'll start with a 3-bedroom. A 3-bedroom. I will just do maybe a 3-bedroom, 2 baths. For the price range, I have no particular price in mind. I'm just going to run a blanket search. I'm just going to do from minimum of about, I'm going to say minimum of about $150,000. And then I'm going to go all the way to the maximum of about, let me just say $500,000, submit, and then I'll just hit on search. Now, when you hit on search, you're going to get 2 prompts. The first prompt is, 1, it lets you know the free options. So you just click on select all. And then for the paid version, which is where the magic happens, click on select all, and then just hit on search. Now, InvestFusion is going behind the scene. So if it gives you, just do that again, try and trigger that twice, and then just click on search. Okay, let's see what's going on right now. So no properties found. Let's try that again. Let's see what's happening with it. All right, let's do this. Okay, I would think it's for the settings. So let's just do this right now. Let's just do Texas, USA. Let's go back again. Let's expand our search. I would believe that is the reason why. So let's go up to, like, say, let's just go all the way to $600,000 and then hit on search. So usually, if it gives me this error, I'm just going to do this quickly. I think it's a setting. I have to do a setting. My team has closed. Okay, so let's do this. I understand why it's giving me this error. I know what I've done, but let's just do this. Let's just, for the purpose of this conversation, let's just go into a market close to us here. Let's just do Georgia. Hit on search. Hit on all. Hit on search again. While it's correct itself, I'm going to get back to that later on. Okay. Now let's do this. So that this, I know what is happening. So it's my settings. Okay. So now we've seen the output. So we have 43 results found here in Georgia. I'm going to go back to Texas. I have to do some settings, but my team is behind. They're not live with me here. I'm going to let them know to go and do the settings. Okay. So we're in Georgia. When you go into InvestFusion, just pick any property of your choice. You don't have to be any one you are in love with. Just pick any property and just get details. So let me just take a random property here. I'm just going to scroll down to anything random. Let's look at the most pretty ones. The prettier they are, the harder they fall. Yes. Let's click on any property here. Mocha, thanks for joining. Gulera, thanks for joining. Guys, this is InvestFusion working right now. And count the seconds. Imagine this running behind the scene to let you know the property's condition. Guys, it's not going to take less than 60 seconds to give you the output for that property. Guys, while it's doing this, I'm going to change my power source because we're almost batteries running out. So guys, this is the power of what we are doing. All right, I'm going to switch this guys right now. Good. Okay, I'm switching my audio. All right, can you guys hear me? I hope it's clear enough in okay. All right, guys, can you hear me over there? Okay, I hope my audio is good on YouTube, guys. So now this is the property that InvestFusion has found for us. So what we're going to do right now is simple. Okay. Oh, sorry, my audio is down. I can see why my audio is down. Okay, guys. So now here we go. This is what we want to do. The first point right now is we are in the property itself. So now look at the pictures. InvestFusion has given you audio. Yeah, my audio is good. All right, can you guys? Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I have to do I have to try it twice to get the audio to work. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, now let's look at this now. Now you've seen this. So what you have here is the property itself. Look at how pretty this property looks. It says here this property is located in 7190 Cavender Drive in Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. Zip code is 30331. It's listed for $364,000. Now, those of you watching on YouTube, you can see the deal score. The deal score is 45 over 100. InvestFusion says potential for improvement. That's what he told you. It says potential for improvement. It says watch zone. What that means is there might be some things wrong, but not so serious about the property. So it wants to give you an idea of what you need to do. Now, if you come to the summary here, so there are two things you can do. If you're someone who wants to quickly go through several properties, just go on the summary here and read the summary. It gives you the address. It gives you the address of the property. It gives you the list price. It gives you the bedroom, 5-bedroom, 3 baths, price per foot. It gives you all of that. It says the property is currently listed at a price that may not reflect its true market value due to missing square footage and comparative market data. Now go all the way down. It says the cap rate is 5%. Okay, so you keep on going all the way down. Now go to the cap rate, you see that it's 5% as well. The appraised information, we're pulling that as well. So let's go all the way down to the property condition. It says condition, excellent condition. That's the first thing you want to check out. It says excellent condition, maintenance needs, non-reported. So this property has no foundation issues. It has no maintenance issues reported. And the average household income is about $85,800, which is good. It said the property is in an excellent condition with no reported maintenance needs, which is positive indicator for potential buyers. The local average income is above the national average, suggesting a potential strong rental market. Then it gives you all of this information, legal and historical notes. So there is no debt recorded in this property. The title is a clean title, which is a positive factor, so which is good. So it says investment score is 45 over 100. Its final recommendation, the AI is going to think for you, okay? So its final recommendation, it says avoid investment. Why? It says the cap rate is 5%, is significantly below the target of 7%, indicating poor investment returns. So missing data. Now let's go and look at the data we have from the outputs here. So if I go on this screen here now, those of you watching my screen on YouTube, you can see the details about the property. You want to go first of all to the financial matrix. So on the financial matrix, it gives it as a 5% cap rate, an estimate of 361,000. The tax assessed value is 418,000, which is not bad. And then the rent estimate is $2,893. Remember, this is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. The household income is $85,000. Now, if you're watching on TikTok, Jihil, thanks for joining. If you're watching on TikTok and then you're wondering why is the household income important? The household income, you want to buy a property in an area where the household income is either above or equal to the US national average. Why is that so? It means people in that location, that area, that zip code, they have disposable income. Okay? That means they can afford to pay their rents. Now, so if you go on the risk assessment, here it's going to let you know in InvestFusion what are the environmental risks associated with this property. So it says only precipitation risk is high. Cynthia, thanks for joining. So if you are joining on TikTok, we are live on YouTube. Go on YouTube and search for Jeff Imalaba InvestFusion, or just search for InvestFusion Real Estate. You'll be able to find my channel. Join it, and then you can see me share my screen. I'm sharing my screen live on InvestFusion to take you guys behind the scene to show you how we can find properties that have foundation issues, structural damage, and any red flags. Now, if you go all the way down, you will now see the appraisal report. So click on the appraisal reports. So now it says the assessed value is $167,444. So you have the deed sale price, the deed sale date. So it was sold in 2018 and was appraised for $167,000. This is the residential property. Now let's look at the deed. The previous assessed value was $167,000. So there must be some improvement because it was sold all the way back in 2018. So that's a far back time ago. So now in 2018, when this property was sold, and right now, of course, the assessed value will be different. So now you know that there must be some improvement. So looking at that right now, it's priced for $364,000. InvestFusion is saying that likely the market value might be $418,000. So if the property is selling for $364,000 and InvestFusion is letting you know that the market value is close to $418,000, means there's equity to be seen there. But however, you want to be sure that, well, number one, there's no foundation issues, there's no structural damage. The only thing you can see here is to try and renegotiate the price further down. Why is it so? Because the price per foot is $94. Guys, this is a gold mine. This first property we found is a gold mine because you make your money on the buy. If you understand real estate, you make your money on the buy. So if you can still negotiate this thing down to $50 per price per square foot, you are sitting on a gold mine. Why? This is a 5-bedroom. It's a 5-bedroom, 3 full property. So it's a huge property, and they are putting it down 364,000. The market value for this property is supposed to be $418,000. The last time it was appraised was far back in 2018 for over $164,000. Howard, thanks for joining. Howard Scarlett, thanks for joining. Cynthia, thanks for joining. So that is how InvestFusion gives you a huge intro into what is happening with the property. Now, so we've seen one property. Great deal, great deal. All you can do right now, if you're someone who's looking at a property like this, you want to discuss further with the seller, see if you can squeeze their arm, do an appraisal report. You know now for a fact this property does not have foundation issues. That's what we built InvestFusion to find out. That's why we built InvestFusion, to prevent you from losing thousands of dollars to due diligence fee. So you can go in to this property now with confidence. Thanks for joining, Robert. Thanks for joining, Cynthia. Those of you joining on TikTok, thanks for joining. Now let's go to another property. I'm sharing my screen. If you are watching on TikTok, I'm sharing my screen on YouTube. Go on YouTube and search for InvestFusion Real Estate or Jeff Imalaba InvestFusion. Then you can gain access to the back end and see what I'm saying. Now the next, so we've seen one property. It has no foundation issues, no structural damage. The price is $370,000. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, which is good. But we want to keep on searching. Now let's go in down and just search for a random property again. Let's look for anything random. Let's just pick up anyone we just feel like, and then we'll see what's going on that property. All right, let's just hit on this property here. This looks like it's $400,000. So I'm going to hit on this one. Any property of your choice in the US, you can run it across InvestFusion, guys. Any property of your choice. So now let's do this and let's see what it tells us. If you are enjoying this on YouTube, give me a like button, guys. I know you guys are the ones seeing my screen. And guys, Queenie Murphy, thanks for joining. If you have a question, you're watching on YouTube, on TikTok, if you have a question, keep your questions coming, and then I can be able to take your questions. And let me know where you're joining from in the world, guys. Let me know where you're joining from, okay? Guys, InvestFusion is changing this game. It's changing this game, guys. It's changing this game. So let's do this, guys. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So if you have, okay, let's just click on it again. Just hit on it twice. Oh, just scroll down all the way down. Pick up any property. This is what we picked up. And just do a search. That's it. So it's giving us the output. That's giving us the output. So this property is located on 4625. So I'm not concerned about how pretty the property looks. What you want to see is there any red flags? Stephen Berg, thanks for joining. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, we just found one property with a major issue. Watching on YouTube, you can see my screen. InvestFusion has given you a deal score of 40 over 100. It said investment not recommended. Just Angel, thanks for joining. Imagine this. InvestFusion is protecting you from losing thousands of dollars upfront in less than 60 seconds while you are in your bedroom. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm not in Texas. All I did was to run InvestFusion across that property. And look at what it found. A major red flag. It says 40 over 100. When you see red in your deal score, it means run. Now let's see what it found and why it gave us this red. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. So let's go all the way to the property condition because something is happening there. Let's go all the way down and see what InvestFusion has found that is giving us this issue. Okay, let's go on to the summary. It says here, let's scroll down and see the AI summary quickly. And see the reason why he gave us. It says avoid investment. Why? It says the cap rate of 3.3% is significantly below the acceptable threshold for investment returns. Insufficient data on rental potential and property appraisal limits the ability to make an informed decision. The local average income is below. Oh, that's why. So guys, remember I told you guys earlier on, crazy funny, thanks for joining. You want to buy a property. So InvestFusion has been built with several data points, over 400 data points. Among those data points is it's going to find a property that the household income is either equals to or above the US national average. Jules, Mike from Vegas, thanks for joining. This property is in an area where the household income is below the US average. That's why InvestFusion says no. It says the local average income is below the national average, which may hinder rental demand. And why it makes sense, yes? Because if you buy that property and you want to rent it out, and the people in that area do not have enough disposable income, they are not able to pay your rent. If they're not able to pay your rent, you cannot increase your rent. That means you're stuck with the property that will not go to cash flow for you. David, thanks for joining as well. So that's why let's see. That's why InvestFusion gave it a 40 over 100 score. So it says in terms of the property condition, let me see what it says about the property condition. It says here, the property is in an excellent condition with no reported maintenance needs, which is good, which is a positive aspect, which is good. The local average income is below the national average, indicating potential challenges in rental markets. See, that's the first thing you want to look at. You're not concerned or you're not excited about how pretty the house looks like. You want to be sure, am I buying the right property? Jazzy Creation, thanks for joining. That's what you're looking for. You're asking yourself, does this property, does it has cash flow or built-in equity? Are there any red flags? Not how nice it looks from the outside. Don't get carried away of how pretty the building looks like, guys. That's what that's not an investment. You want to buy quality, not quantity. Now let's go to the appraisal report and see what the appraisal report gives to us. So we see the assessed value was 127,760. The deal sale price was 240. The date was 2025 on the 5th. Let's see, the market improvement value is $235,000. And then the previous assessed value is 129,000. The date was 2025. That was in May 13, 2025. So this has not been it's not been too long ago. This house was sold. So if it was assessed, so what you're seeing right now is this, guys. This house was sold it was assessed for $129,000 in May this 13, and the seller is putting this price for $400,000. Beverly, thanks for joining. So now, those of you joining on TikTok, guys, you can join us on YouTube to gain access to. I'm sharing my screen, and I'm live on InvestFusion, and we're doing a deep analysis on any property of our choice. Listen, guys, the seller put this property for $400,000. This house was appraised in May 13 this year for $129,000. So the gap between $129,000 and $400,000 is wide. So ask yourself, ask the seller, what has been the improvement that was done on this property to justify the expense or the extra addition? Let's go and see what's the financial matrix. Let us know about the price per square foot. So you can see here, it says the cap rate is 3.3%. And then it says the estimate is $395,000. The price per square foot is $164. Listen carefully, guys. You make your money on the buy. I repeat, in real estate, you make your money on the buy. The tax assessed value is $322,000. This property is overpriced. This is an overpriced property. The household income is $55,000. This is a no, guys. This is a no investment. No. Why? Because one, it's overpriced. Two, the tax assessed value is below the asking price. Three, the appraisal report shows that the house was appraised for $129,000, but the seller is putting it for $400,000. However, InvestFusion says there is no foundation issues, there is no major red flags, but it did identify that the household income is below the US national average. So, guys, this is your own private investigator. That's what InvestFusion does. It's your own private investigator to go in and investigate the property for you in advance without you leaving your home to begin to identify this, guys. So we've done 2 property search today. If you love it, show me some love, guys. Show me some love if you enjoy what you are doing right now. So if you're watching this is InvestFusion in a nutshell. By this week, if you're watching on TikTok, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on YouTube, go to investfusion.co and join the wait list. Click on join the wait list. When you join the wait list, my team by next week will create your own access profile to give you access to the back end of InvestFusion. That way you can go in and then you can test run InvestFusion yourself. This is a disruption. Why did we build InvestFusion? To protect you from losing thousands of dollars before you leave your home. You can see on my screen right now what is happening. This property, while it has no foundation issues, you can tell that it's highly overpriced. It's far above tax assessed value. It's way below the previous appraisal report that was done this year. And so many things is not working. That's why InvestFusion says investment not recommended and give you a deal score of 40 over 100 in just 60 seconds. Guys, listen carefully. This is a disruption in real estate space. This is going to change how we invest in real estate. And that is what InvestFusion was built to help you accomplish. So if you have any questions, we've done 2 property analysis today. If you have any questions, guys, we've spent close to an hour right now. If you have any questions right now, keep your comments coming in. If you're watching on TikTok, you're watching on YouTube, watching on wherever you're watching, let me have your questions coming in, and then we can take your questions. You guys on YouTube can see my screen. This is what we call the deal score. You can see the appraisal report there. This is what we call the deal score. Stop buying real estate blindly, guys. Stop buying real estate blindly. So if you're watching and you're wondering, Ron, Senior, thanks for joining. If you're watching, you're still wondering, what is that InvestFusion? Now, let me repeat it. Those of you watching on YouTube and on Facebook, you can see my screen because I'm able to share my screen. But those joining us from TikTok, you're not able to see my screen. InvestFusion was built for 3 reasons. 1, to protect the real estate investor from losing thousands of dollars upfront. That was 1. Number 2, it was built to help you find properties, good deals, 30 or 40% below replacement cost. Number 3, it's built to reward you as a stakeholder in the market. Guys, my life will end in about 3 minutes from now on both on TikTok and of course on YouTube as well. So please, if you are watching on TikTok, this live will end very soon. All right, guys. But understand this, guys. Understand this. InvestFusion was built to protect you. So if you're watching right now, go to investfusion.co and join the wait list. That's the only thing you can do right now to give you access to the back end. That way, my team can reach out to you between now and next week and give you access to the back end to see how InvestFusion works. So that's protecting you and helping you find deals that you as an investor will be happy to go in and close those deals. Guys, I appreciate your time. It's a beautiful Saturday evening. Thanks for spending time with me to understand InvestFusion and see behind the scene how InvestFusion works. And then by next week, you yourself can try your hands on InvestFusion at your home for free and then run your hands across it. And then you can be able to see what I'm seeing myself when I try InvestFusion. Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate you all. Until next time, guys, stay blessed. And I will see you guys next time, guys. I appreciate you all. Thanks for joining this live stream. And yes, guys, so we're ending our live now. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. Yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for joining.